The Israelites, led by Moses, hastily march out of Egypt, escaping Pharaoh's oppression. A large group of Israelites, carrying bundles and leading animals, marches across a desert landscape at dawn, with Moses at the front, guiding them with a determined expression. The people look exhausted, yet hopeful. The sky is pale with early morning light, casting long shadows, while mountains rise in the distance, giving the scene a sense of urgency and hope. Pharaoh, furious over losing his slaves, commands his army to chase the Israelites. A vast army of Egyptian soldiers in golden armor rides swiftly through the desert, led by Pharaoh in a chariot adorned with bright colors. Dust rises from their horses and chariots, and the soldiers hold spears and shields, expressions fierce and determined. The sky is a fierce, dusty yellow, and the ground trembles under the power of the advancing army. The Israelites reach the edge of the Red Sea and panic, seeing no escape with Pharaoh's army approaching. A group of Israelites stands crowded at the shore of the vast Red Sea, their faces filled with fear and despair. Moses stands in front of them, staff in hand, looking at the churning waters. The dark blue sea stretches out before them under a cloudy sky, and they glance back nervously at the dust clouds of Pharaoh's army approaching in the distance. Moses, in obedience to God's command, raises his staff over the Red Sea. Moses stands boldly at the edge of the Red Sea, his figure silhouetted against a darkening sky as he lifts his staff high. The wind begins to blow, swirling his cloak, and the sea begins to tremble slightly. The people behind him look on in suspense, their faces reflecting awe and anticipation. The scene is dramatic, with clouds gathering overhead and a faint glow around Moses. The waters of the Red Sea part, creating a dry path for the Israelites to cross. The Red Sea miraculously splits into two towering walls of water, forming a dry path down the center. The waters rise high on each side, swirling with shades of deep blue and green, with fish and sea creatures visible within the walls. The pathway stretches into the distance, illuminated by a heavenly light, while the Israelites stand in awe at the entrance, hesitant but hopeful. The Israelites walk through the dry seabed, gazing at the water walls in amazement. The Israelites walk across the dry seabed, glancing in wonder at the towering walls of water on either side. Moses leads the way, and families with children, sheep, and belongings follow behind, their expressions a mix of awe and fear. Shafts of light from above illuminate the path, and the walls of water are alive with hints of sea creatures swimming beside them. Pharaoh's army enters the seabed, determined to capture the Israelites. Pharaoh's soldiers, riding chariots and on horseback, charge down the path between the walls of water, expressions fierce and focused. The massive water walls loom ominously on either side, and the soldiers' armor glints as they advance. Dust kicks up from the dry seabed, and the walls of water seem to close in slightly, adding a sense of impending doom. As the last Israelite crosses safely, Moses lowers his staff, and the waters rush back, engulfing Pharaoh's army. The towering walls of water collapse with immense power, crashing down onto Pharaoh's soldiers and chariots in a massive, frothy wave. Horses rear, and soldiers are thrown into the turbulent sea as waves crash down. The sky is dark, and the scene is filled with the power of rushing water, with only fragments of chariots and soldiers visible in the chaos. The Israelites, safe on the other shore, rejoice and thank God for their miraculous deliverance. The Israelites stand on the opposite shore of the Red Sea, watching the waters settle, their faces filled with joy, relief, and gratitude. Some lift their hands in thanks, while others embrace or kneel. Moses stands slightly apart, raising his staff, with the sea behind him now calm under a radiant blue sky. The people are overjoyed, and a soft golden light bathes the scene, symbolizing peace and victory. Miriam, Moses' sister, leads the women in a celebratory song and dance, praising God. Miriam, a joyful woman with outstretched arms, leads a group of women in dance on the shore, holding tambourines decorated with colorful ribbons. The women dance and sing with expression,